Hey guys, so welcome back to another reading vlog. So today is Wednesday. It is later in the evening. So I have a couple of books on my radar for this reading vlog. So the first one that I'm reading is 180 Seconds by Jessica Park. And right now I'm on page 94 of 300 or something like that. So far I'm really enjoying it. It's really mushy and really cheesy and a lot of insta love. And I mean, I'm a romantic at heart, and even I think this is like way too cheesy, but it's still really cute. It's set in college, which is one of my favorite settings when it comes to like contemporary. So that's the only thing kind of getting me through it. We follow our main character Allison, and she basically her whole life lived in foster care, and then when she was 16 she was adopted, and she's just had trouble trusting people, and she puts up these walls, and she goes to college, and this is set in her third year in college. She's a junior and she meets a boy, and this boy is kind of helping her learn to trust people and like break down her walls and stuff like that. Sorry if the scene kind of changed a little bit. My battery died, so I had to switch it out, and now this one's flashing on me, so I don't have much battery left. So I'll just hurry up and finish with this update. So the next book I'm reading is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I'm not very far in it. I've just read like the prologue, so I'm on page 4. But I have read this book before. Like I said, it is a reread, and Hannah and I's live show is going to be the first Saturday in May. I may have skimmed this book and read all of the cutesy like relationship scenes already. So I may be starting from page 4 from the beginning of the story, but I have read like a good 50 pages of this book already. The next book that I'm picking up from time to time is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. So I'm currently on chapter 13. I'm on page 127, and I'm just enjoying it so much. I don't know if I want to pick up this book tonight or if I want to pick up 180 Seconds, but I am enjoying both of them. Like I said, I am on chapter 13, and so I'm on page 97 of 294, and it's telling me, I don't know if it's gonna focus, but it's telling me that I'm about 33% done with this book. So I may just kind of like knock it out, because I started it on Monday, so I've already read 100 pages in like 2 days. So I may just try and knock it out, maybe read another 100 or so pages tonight and then finish it tomorrow, who knows. So that is pretty much it for this update, and I will update you guys later. What you doing? What do you want? What do you want? Seriously? Can I not film for 5 minutes without you being right here? Hey guys, so I thought I would do another update. So lately my reading progress has been going really well, and I have been really excited to read. I feel like I'm finally completely out of my reading slump, and I'm just excited to be reading. So I've got so many books in front of me that I just can't really decide what I want to read. Also, quick side note, I am really sorry if my camera keeps going in and out of focus. I don't know what's going on with it. I think I need to play with like some of the settings or something, but I've noticed that it's been having trouble like auto-focusing. So just, I'm sorry if it just keeps going in and out of focus. But my last update, I was reading 180 Seconds by Jessica Park, and I did end up finishing it. I ended up really enjoying it. I gave it, I think, like a 3.75, 4 out of 5 stars. Not the best book that I have read, but I did have a lot of emotions. I didn't vlog it, but it did make me cry because it was like 12:30, 1 a.m. when I was reading it. So I was a hot mess, but it did make me cry. There is a scene in this book. I don't want to go into spoilers, but it's a scene with something that I'm very sensitive about, and I had no idea that this was a part of this book. And I think if I had known, I don't think I would have picked it up. So if you've read 180 Seconds, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of like the twist that you get towards the end of the book and what happens at the end. Those scenes I'm very sensitive to, and they make me really emotional. So I definitely cried a lot, but I did enjoy it. I know when I was first talking about it, I mentioned how I felt like the main character, Allison, and the love interest was very insta-love, and I still kind of believe that it was, but I think that the author did a decent job with kind of like spreading it out. So I think it was more like maybe insta-lust and just kind of like an instant connection versus insta-love. And then we really got to see their relationship play out, and it was interesting being able to see the main character like struggle with intimacy and connecting with people and trusting people. It felt insta-love, but their relationship did have a nice like progression over several months. I'm glad that that was kind of put in there. It made it feel less insta-love. I also adored the relationship between Allison and her stepfather, and I think that's something that we lose a lot of, like parents with young adults, even though I consider this maybe more like a new adult because it is set in college. So I think she's 20, the main character. But we don't see a lot of parents in young adult literature, and in this one, we do. That's like a huge relationship between Allison and her stepfather, or not her stepfather, I'm sorry, her adopted father, Simon. So I really enjoyed that as well. Also, I have been reading more in A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm completely out of focus. Come on, focus. I have no idea what page I was on during my last update, but I am currently on page 162. So I mean, not a huge chunk of it read, but I have read some, and I definitely want to continue on. That's kind of what I feel like reading right now. I have just made myself some tea, so it should be brewed by now. It's been a little while. So when I was visiting Hannah, she had this amazing like blueberry tea and matcha peach tea, blueberry matcha tea. I'm not sure. I don't know where she got them, but they were so good. So I thought I would do like a little combination, and I got green tea, matcha, and blueberry. So I'm interested to see what it tastes like. Also, Kevin got me this for my birthday. Can we just talk about how cool it is? So it is a Harry Potter Tervis mug. It's got all of these really cool like signs from Harry Potter. It keeps wanting to focus on me. And then if you turn it around, it has all of these spells with the wand sign and stuff. So I adore this mug. That's actually really good. That's really good. I will say, the blueberry is pretty potent. Like, I love it because I love blueberries, but I don't taste as much of the matcha. So I think what I may do is maybe kind of brew the matcha tea bag first for a couple minutes, and then add the blueberry for the remainder of the time. That way it gets a little bit more matcha flavor and not as much blueberry, but it is actually really good. This is really good tea. Okay, so I'm at the scene where we meet Cassian and Azriel for the first time, and they have like their family dinner at the House of Wind or something like that. And we're learning about the siphons, and we're basically just learning about Cassian and Azriel and just really getting a sense of like Cassian's humor, and it is just so good. I love Cassian so much. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but he is my favorite character. Like, I love Riz. Or Reese, I call him Riz, but I love Riz so much, and I do like Feyre a lot more than at the beginning of A Court of Thorns and Roses, but Cassian is my favorite character, and just meeting him again is so good. It's so good, and so yes, I'm really enjoying that, and I'm picking up on things that I hadn't picked up before. So apparently the Illyrians, they're not high fae, they're Illyrians. So I guess you've got 3 different types of fairies. You've got high fae, I guess maybe just fairies or just like fae, and then you have Illyrians, it sounds like. So I must have completely missed that when I read it the first time. So Cassian says, Illyrians are certainly not high fae and glad of it. And we're not lesser fairies, though some try to call us that. We're just Illyrians. Anyways, I'm loving it. We're in Valeris for the first time, and we're seeing the City of Dreams, and we're meeting like all of these amazing characters. So I love this book so much. It is just probably one of my favorites. So I'm so happy to be back in this world and rereading this book because it is so good. So I'm gonna keep on reading. Hey guys, so it's a little bit later in the day. It is about like 9 o'clock at night now, and I've gotten a lot read in A Court of Mist and Fury. I am now halfway through. I'm on page 300. So I just love this book so much. I've just been literally reading straight for the last, I don't know, like 3-4 hours, and just read what, like 200 pages straight. We're finally getting to the part where like Feyre is learning to train and fighting, and it's just, I just love the dynamics between her and Cassian and Azriel and Riz. It's just so fantastic to kind of see everyone start bonding. So I think I'm just going to continue reading A Court of Mist and Fury tonight. That is probably it for my update for today, since it is already pretty late. But I'm going to keep on reading, and I will try and update you guys tomorrow morning. Hey guys, so it's the next day from when I did my last update, and oh, hi Zara. And I am now on page 405, and I am just flying through this book. Like, I have maybe a fourth of it left to read. I have like 200 pages left or something like that. And the last 200 pages are the best in the book anyways, so I have a feeling I'm going to finish this book very, very soon. But I had some thoughts. So if you have not read A Court of Thorns and Roses, this won't necessarily be spoilers, but if you don't like knowing about like anything that happens in the sequels, like anything about other characters, then I would recommend maybe muting this section until I'm done with my little rant, because I'm going to be talking about certain characters that I am really pissed off at, and you are introduced to them in A Court of Thorns and Roses, but you know, if you don't want to know anything about Mist and Fury, then yeah, go ahead and mute. But we see Elaine and Nesta again. We have that meeting with Nesta and Elaine in the human realm, and oh my gosh, Nesta is such a bitch. I always knew she was a huge bitch, but in A Court of Wings and Ruin, we kind of love her a little bit just because she's so fierce. But in this one, I'm just like, she's just she's horrible for no reason. She has no reason to treat her sister the way she treats her. And it makes me so angry. And the reason that I am so freaking pissed off is Feyre goes to her and is like, I need your help to protect the humans. And she's basically just like, nope, fuck you, I am not helping. And finally, like, they had to, like, convince her to help, or Elaine did. In my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is literally to help you. Like, Feyre, Riz, Cassian, and Azriel are all there to help you and not let the King of Hybern take over the humans. And you are going to act the way you're acting. It's ridiculous. Feyre could just be like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna let the king take over and good luck. But she's not. Ugh, it makes me so angry. Well, hello. Could you tell that I am distraught? Can you tell that I am upset? Also, I know a lot of people have issues with A Court of Mist and Fury because they say it's really smutty. Yes, there are a lot of sexual innuendos and they talk about sex a lot and they joke about it, but Feyre is very much a willing participant in pretty much everything. Like, yes, Riz will like make certain comments and she'll be like, she'll sigh or she'll like groan at them, but then she dishes it right back, and he always lets her make her own decisions and her own choices, and I love that. The problem with like her relationship with Tamlin was that he never let her make any choices, and she like forgot how strong she can be. In A Court of Thorns and Roses and at the beginning of A Court of Mist and Fury, Feyre is just a really, really, really weak character, and she comes such a long way. So I just got to the point where they're going to the Court of Nightmares. They're basically being attacked, and Riz is like, okay, Cassian, you need to take Feyre back, go protect her. Azriel, you're gonna go do this. And Feyre's like, no. She's like, I'm going with you. She's like, I can be helpful. I'm good at tracking. I can hunt. Like, I survived in, you know, the winter, feeding my family. Like, I can be helpful and useful and not like a damsel in distress. And I love that. I love that we're finally seeing that. So it's been like 400 pages before we're finally seeing Feyre like come to be Feyre, and I'm loving it. Another thing that I like in this book that I never thought of before when I read it, I'm just like seeing it for the first time, is that Sarah J. Maas puts a lot of emphasis on sexual assault for both males and females. Most books, when it deals with like sexual advances that someone doesn't want, sexual harassment, I guess, a lot of times it's the main character is female. But in this one, there is a lot of talk about like males and women trying to take advantage of them. Women trying to seduce men is not acceptable if the men are not wanting it, and I like that Sarah J. Maas talks about that, and she really shows like both sides. Some of the main characters in this book are portrayed to be like really strong male warriors, but just because they're strong male warriors and can protect themselves doesn't mean that they shouldn't be sexually harassed or seduced when they don't want to be. You know what I mean? Another thing I wanted to talk about is just like there's so much emphasis on friends and family in this book as well. There are so many other relationships besides the main like love interest. I'm really appreciating these relationships a lot more. now that I am rereading it. Alright, so that is pretty much it for this update clip. I am going to keep on reading, but it is kind of late. So I am maybe gonna try and squeeze in another hour of reading or so, and then I will update you guys tomorrow, I think, if I can get like a good amount of progress done. Okay, so I'm currently reading A Court of Mist and Fury, and I just wanted to kind of read a quote that I came across, because as I mentioned yesterday about like the relationship between Feyre and Riz, the thing is like, even though there's like a lot of banter between Feyre and Riz and there's like a lot of sexual tension, I actually like the banter between Feyre and Riz. There's actually a scene in the book where Feyre and Riz kind of have to play a role, but right after that scene, Feyre says something to Riz, and it really kind of resonates with me because it was her choice, and that was like one of the biggest things that like I like the relationship between Riz and Feyre, is that he always lets it be her choice. So right after that scene, after they go to the Court of Nightmares, she says, "But it had been my choice to play that role, to wear these clothes, to let him touch me. But it had been my choice." So I really appreciate that because it is her choice. Like, she said yes. So that scene doesn't bother me because she literally said yes, versus all of the scenes with like her and Tamlin. Tamlin is just so manipulative and controlling, and it's terrible. I kind of want to go back and reread A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I have a feeling I'm gonna have so much to say about it. Like, I know that I really enjoyed that book, and I think I do have a book review on it that I made a long time ago, but honestly, if I went back and reread it now, I would just be so pissed off between Tamlin and Feyre's relationship and just the way Tamlin treats her. And I think I was never really on board. Like, I never really shipped Tamlin and Feyre. But I wanted to mention that quote because I thought it was really important. And then there's another quote in the cabin scene. I can't remember what her exact words are, and I'm looking for it. But she says something along the lines of, "It's always her choice. Riz always lets her choose." I am getting dangerously close to finishing. I'm on page 468, so I'm getting really close to being done. I only have like this much left of the book. So I am getting close to being done, and I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm just gonna keep on reading. Okay, so I just found that scene that I was trying to find, or that quote. So basically, it's after Lucien finds Feyre in the forest and he tries to bring her back, and she says no, and he just won't take no for an answer. There's just something wrong with the Fays from the Spring Court. They just don't understand what no means. Now Feyre and Riz are talking, and she says, "Did you think I would go with him?" And then Riz's response is, "I heard every word between you. I knew you could take care of yourself, and yet..." I found myself deciding that if you took his hand, I would find a way to live with it. It would be your choice. And then she says, and if he had grabbed me, and that he responds with, then I would have torn apart the world to get you back. So I just thought that quote is really important. I'm just gonna keep on reading because I am so obsessed with this book that I literally just want to finish it and start it again because it is so good. This is probably the best book ever, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that really quick. Hey guys, so this is going to be my last clip for this reading vlog. Today is Wednesday, and that means that I have done a full week for a reading vlog. I can't believe I've actually done a weekly reading vlog. I think this might be my first one. I either do like 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 24 hours, but I think this is my actual first reading, like weekly reading vlog, which I'm really happy about. I kind of want to maybe keep with that and continue doing weekly reading vlogs. But a couple things I want to talk about. So I did finish A Court of Mist and Fury yesterday, and so good. 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. There are just certain things that I picked up on this time rereading it that I didn't pick up on the first time. Well, I already mentioned a whole bunch of it, but one of the things towards the end, and I'm going to keep it really brief because I don't want to spoil anything. If you haven't read A Court of Mist and Fury, like the ending will just like blow your mind, and it's so good. But there's a scene where Feyre figures out or learns something huge, and she's really upset that no one told her about it, and she gets so upset that the way she treats everybody really upset me, and I think I was kind of on her side when I read it the first time, and now rereading it, I disagree completely. She just emotions 180, and she just gets so pissed off. It just really upset me rereading it. I was just so freaking angry at her the entire time. But then, you know, she comes around, and I think I might have mentioned this, but Feyre's not my favorite character, even though we're in her first person point of view. My favorite character is either Riz, it's Riz, Moore, and Cassian. Those are my favorite characters. But otherwise, so freaking fantastic. Also, I did get a little bit of reading done in The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I'm not very far. I'm on page 39. Already, I'm enjoying the beginning of it. I feel like the writing flows better in The Raven King. Maybe it's just because I've gotten used to Maggie Stiefvater's writing for the past 3 books that I am reading it more quickly just because I'm used to her writing style. But I've noticed that I've read like the first, I don't know, maybe 30 or so pages in like 30 minutes. So I'm still reading about a page a minute, where when I first started reading these books, it was taking me a lot longer than that. That is it for this reading vlog. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!